Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Clark Beckham, former runner-up of American Idol. You're watching the Idol Breakdown, where I tell contestants not to watch, and they watch anyway. We have Songs of Faith this week, which is good. It is a beautiful genre of music. I don't know if genre is the right word. It is a sector of music where there are beautiful genres within it. Very musical, singer-friendly songs are all over the place with this theme, Songs of Faith. And unfortunately, only like 4 contestants took advantage of that, in my opinion, but we'll get to that in a second. Lionel and Luke start off the show singing live. Jesus is the Lord, which is wonderful. I've never heard, especially Lionel, sing live. It's always pre-recorded. It's also always heavily tuned, or like it looks like it's being lip synced. And this time we hear him live, and you can tell that it's live, and there are little mistakes here and there and imperfections, but I would much rather have that authentic live voice than the not fabricated, but kind of fabricated, super produced, tuned, perfected voice that we usually get when we hear from him. And I just preferred that. And Luke too. And I'm thinking, you guys know you have a third judge who's like one of the best singers on the planet. Where's she at? Well, she comes later. Don't you worry. The judge's walkout music was the sickest walkout music maybe I've ever heard for anything ever. So nasty. We got our first contestant singing Gyra by Elevation Worship. This is Keela.
If he dresses the lilies with beauty and splendor.
I've talked about it before. Not that she needs to, but I would really love to hear something below a 7 out of 10 on the intensity scale. And I said before she can't go below 5. I don't think she can go below a 7. It is just all the way down, almost all the way down. Gas pedal is revving every time she opens her mouth. And I'm telling you, that gentle, sweet voice that I talk about, and I call it like a vocal detox. If you just go to your speaking voice like this, your sweet, soft speaking voice, like you're trying to wake someone up that you care about, and then start singing, you are Jireh, you are enough. That's really nice. And it's right out of our speaking voice. Not that she would do it in the chorus, but maybe in the verse. I don't know. It's just always all the way down. But it's working for her. And that's just my subjective preference, really, is I would love to hear some like soft stuff. I didn't actually think this was a good song choice. It's a pretty song, but you're the gospel girl. Like, you're the churchy gospel, sing your face off, I'm gonna die singer. And have a little help from my friends gave you, like, you're finding these songs that aren't gospel and making them gospel. And now when you finally have a theme where you can make something gospel, you're taking a beautiful contemporary congregational song that is meant for everybody, let's sing this together, and then you're kind of making it gospel-y at the end. What I'm trying to say is there are so many songs that she could have sung that would have murdered, and this was not the right song choice, in my opinion. It was fine, and this is her opportunity to really knock one out of the park, and I don't think that's what happened. I don't think it's necessarily because of her performance. I just don't think the song suited her strengths. Jesse. I was so scared when they named him 14th. A friend of mine texted me like, hey, do you have a favorite this season on American Idol? And I said Jesse, which is typically the way to get voted out. When I make my top 10, which I'm going to make my top 10 in this episode. When I make my personal favorite top 10, almost every time whoever I like number 1 goes home immediately. So I was like, this is the beginning of the curse. But he does make it. Jesse kind of started too strong for me as well. It was, because this is such a pretty song, sung softly, especially in the beginning. And you want to, in general, take people on a journey and have dynamics. And this song gives you that opportunity. That I set out on a narrow way many years ago. This kind of timid, like soft, sweet approach, which he could nail, and he has nailed in the past. And then like grow a little bit into the chorus. Every long lost dream. And then near the end, that's when you can really push the pedal down when everyone's invested and emotionally connected. But instead, it felt like in the very beginning, he was already at the end. I set out on a narrow way. And it sounds good because he's a good singer. But the dynamics were missing for me and could have really lent itself to a powerful moment. I did really love the last 30 seconds. The cutout to that falsetto note and then bringing it down really soft was really pretty. The chords there were really, really pretty. So typically, that part of the song is like, and like a da-da-na into your lover's arms. This much I know is true. Okay, but they go, and like a da-da-na into my lover's, and then does like a high note, arms. And this chord right here. This much I know. Just that. This much I know is true. So pretty. So pretty. Loved that. If he would have just been a little gentle in the beginning, I think it could have been really great. Still good, but let's go with Lucas. Lucas sings Gratitude. This is another bad song choice in my opinion. It's a beautiful song. It's a Christian song. It's Faith Week. He's probably sung it a bunch of times, and it's just middle of the road for me. He's so great, and it's like, yep, that's how the song goes, is how it felt. It's just like, yeah, that's the vibe. It felt like he was trying to put a little bit of like country rasp in there, and when he does that, he's just a little under and it feels a little strained, which is not ideal. Really needs to give himself the breath support to push up, to clear the notes easily, not just reach up to them. You can give the perception that you're just reaching there, but you got to get all the way there. The perception has to be in the perceived effort, not in the, oh, you almost got there, but didn't quite get to the top of the note. I've grown and learned to expect a lot more from our boy, our Gallatin, Middle Tennessee boy, Lucas. But then Luke said, this is my favorite performance from you. So, TV is unforgiving. The room is they're actually there live in person. So I believe Luke a lot of times, especially in this episode, I think the judges, especially Luke and Lionel, are just saying stuff that doesn't really have any importance or relevance. But I believe Luke when he says this. So I guess it must have been much better in the room. But if you're just under a note, it really stands out through the television. Daniel. I swear that love will find you in your pain. All right, finally, someone went gospel. Arguably the most musical genre with the most, the biggest potential for singers to sing more than any other genre could be gospel, and it's songs of faith, and we got one person who does a gospel song. Maybe there's one more, but like a true gospel song, and that would be Daniel, and that's his vibe. So finally, he knew the assignment, and he took it, and he did great, killed it, just lined himself up a home run with a softball pitch, something that he lives and breathes, and just knocked it out of the park. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to this. If you're not already subscribed, just go look, see if you are, and hit the subscribe button. And you know what? I was thinking about this. It doesn't really do anything for you. It's really just helps me. I think you'll get my videos more frequently on your like opening page, but it's really just a metric that helps YouTube promote me. So I just want to acknowledge that. I know that there's not a ton of benefit or arguably any benefit for you. It's literally just all for me. So if you would be that kind person to do something that would benefit a stranger, which would be me, just out of the goodness of your own heart with nothing in return, this is a very easy way to do this, to have at least one act of kindness today, and you just subscribe. Liking, same thing. Liking, same thing. And notification bells if you really want to catch up and make sure you're catching all the stuff that I post. Let's catch up on Film and Lee. Philman sings Simple Man, which I was racking my brain to try to figure out how this is a song of faith. But whatever, it's a loose definition, I guess, and I don't care, really, honestly, how they make it work. I just care that he sings a good song. And this is a good song, but he seems, like a lot of others, a little under and a little labored in his top notes. And even in his middle range, it just feels like he's not really settling in vocally into that wonderful, buttery, crispy tone that he has. And I will say it's very common for the very first episode that's live and you're in ears and it's a new environment for a lot of people to be flat. My season, same thing. Almost all of us were flat just a little bit for like the whole song. It's just a new environment. Our in-ears, the way we're hearing things, it's just different. And then we locked in later. I expect him to lock in next go round. But this one, it felt like he wasn't all the way there like we're used to hearing him. Ray.
Oh, the sun shines. I see nothing.
Wow. Sick start. Love the beginning. Immediately I'm drawn in and she never let go. This was a perfect song choice. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Like all of these songs that you can sing in the gospel world for anybody to sing that'll highlight your voice. This is a perfect example of that. She's got nice, warm, thought out runs in her tone. Her vowels are so nicely crafted when she sings. I would say if I could think of something for her to work on or even try out, it's more of an experiment. Those really, really high notes, the ones that like the mix that just pop up out of nowhere, it seems. If she could just put a little bit of, not vocal fry, but a little bit of rasp, a little bit of squall, you'd say, on the top of those, just a little bit of texture on those, and some more air to make the tone a little bit broader instead of sharp. And I mean sharp in tone, not sharp in pitch. She could really freak people out. So there's this one part specifically where she goes,
Afraid I will fall.
this is her key. May I look down, afraid I will fall. That higher note, that's what I'm talking about. So I'll show you what I mean. So let me put it in like a key that I would do it in. So it's like, may I look down, afraid. Hear how that's like, yes, that's a note. Yes, that's high. Like, awesome. If you just add a little to it, and that's all here. It's not here. Most people think it's here, and then they try that and they kill their voice. It's right here. Right there. In this key, you'd be like, may I look down, afraid, just like a little, like in the gut, just a little strain there, but not here, just kind of up here and right in the gut of that feel. I know that we get little song teacher, vocal teacher E, but that could really, instead of lay I lay down, afraid to fall, versus may I look down, afraid I may fall. Just that could add a lot. Jake Thistle.
Just turn around and you will see.
Man, I loved this. This was such a nice switch up. We've got, in my opinion, we've got people who are doing okay, and then we've got monsters like Ray singing just killer songs. We're losing our mind. And then we have Jake, who just feels like he's James Taylor at the piano here. And he starts singing, and it just feels like this refreshing glass of water. It's just, his tone is nice. He's relaxed. His eyes are open. He looks like he's enjoying it. Looks like his mic stand is just a little too low. He kind of has him here instead of up here. But looks totally relaxed. And it's just nice to listen to. And then when he wants to push the gas pedal down, he does. And his pitch is perfect. And his rasp is nice, the tone's great. This was a favorite performance of mine, just to listen to. Which, what else would it be? You know what I mean? Braden. Braden's the only person that I was kind of questioning the wardrobe. Like, obviously they've got stylists now, wardrobe people going, and I never thought. Usually they try to slowly, gradually take you to like your final look. So when you're on the show, at least when I was on, it's the same stylist. Lori is her name. She's awesome. She's just like this beautiful, tall, British, stylist lady. And you sit down with her assistants and they go, okay, what's the look we want to go for? Who are some celebrities that you want to model your look after? And they get you to an end point. Okay, this is where we want you to be. And then they gradually take you from where you've been dressing now and slowly build you to the end picture. And it felt like that didn't happen with Braden. He is not dressed like that in a really fancy suit like that. Anything close to that. And it just right off the top. It was just kind of odd to me. Maybe you guys notice or care. Man, his tone is just soaked in sauce. Is so soulful. Just how he sings songs. Doesn't have to do a run, doesn't have to do a high note. Just the way he crafts vowels as they come out are just saucy. I thought this was a good song choice. He started, there were moments where he looked a little nervous or unnatural on stage, and then the second half when he started walking around and pointing, I was like, there he is. That's good stuff. But remember, this is their first time on the Idol stage, and I know they've been on other stages on the shows so far in previous episodes, but this is a different animal, and I really felt like we watched him sink into being comfortable there. Just a quick heads up, if you want more American Idol content like this that I'm making, I do have channel memberships for that, for extra stuff. There's the Groove Crew tier, which is $5, gets you my unfiltered recap video. It's literally called Idol Unfiltered. And that's the day after the show airs. So it's right after I watch and make all my notes. I make this video and upload it directly for Groove Crew members. You also get entry into the Idol prediction contest, where you guess my favorite performance, and we're going to figure out how to predict on who's going home once we understand how that even works. Right answers get 100 points. Wrong answers get 50 points. So make sure you submit something, because at the end of the season, the winner gets the Idol Oracle Trophy. That is a physical trophy shipped to them with a personal thank you letter from me. The leaderboard right now of that contest, number 1 is Brother Eden with 500, and right behind him is Grayson Ishihara and Whale Thumbs with 450. They are one wrong answer away, with Brother Eden not participating in this one, of tying him. Or they're one right answer away from taking the lead or tying him. if he gets a wrong answer. And then behind them is Thomas Franklinster and Justin Lee, 3017 with 350. The tight race, we've got a lot of people right behind them. So it's not over. Jump in while you can. You totally, if you get some right answers, you can scoot on up there. And then the second tier is the inner circle, which is $10. You get all the same perks, but you also get a 24/7 private Q&A with me where I answer every member's question on the channel in a voice memo. So anything that you ask will be answered by me with my voice, not just like a typed message. I'll also pick one of those questions to feature in the Idol breakdown video. Julian.
It will guide you home.
Did anyone else hear laughter in the beginning? Like the whole audience start laughing for no reason? I don't know what the heck that was. Would love to know. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments. And then everybody like that comment so it goes to the top and we can see what the heck was going on, why they laughed in the beginning. Usually something on stage or a screen or judge, something's going on that has nothing to do with the performance when a random laughter like that just breaks out. I thought this was good, man. I think it's kind of like the country scene. I don't really have a lot to say. Just the style, I'm kind of always looking for the singers, even though that is not indicative of quality and ability and, well, maybe it is of ability, but quality and artist success has nothing to do with people who really, really sing. It's just my preference. I have more to say about that, especially I'm a vocal coach, a performance coach. So that's kind of where I sit. For Julian, it's like he just keeps singing. Sing the song correctly and he's pretty much gonna keep going. And that's what he did here. Kendall. I love this arrangement. What a brilliant move. I wonder if this was her arrangement or someone else's, but really great idea. You're wanting to separate yourself always. You never want to sing something that's just right down the middle of the road. It's like, that's good. No. You have to blow everyone's mind to not get cut pretty much every single week, unless you are a far out ahead, just audience favorite where you can afford to flub or afford a middle of the road, not even a flub, just like an okay performance. Otherwise, you got to punch hard every single week. And Kendall does that. She does it here really well. Great execution, great arrangement. Came across really well through the TV. I can't imagine her picking a better song or performing better for this one. Jordan.
Will I stand in presence? To my knees will I fall?
Whew, another great example of what I just said. This dude could write a book on how to pick songs and how to arrange them for American Idol. Everything he's already a great singer. So he could just be great and sing songs like everyone else and everything's great. But instead, and he could go far doing that. Instead, he picks really great songs that show off his voice, and he could stop there, but he doesn't stop there. Then he tweaks them to make him stand out even more. Lionel actually said something that was really good. Was somebody said, because everyone's so good right now, it's really going to be style that sets you apart. Could not agree more. This style that he is showing us and giving us the opportunity to learn and fall in love with, that's unique to him, is what's going to keep him going. You have to do that on the show. And he just every single week gives us a masterclass of that. Great chord arrangement, great band arrangement, but also great vocal arrangement. The note, you can tell that he's not just going up there willy-nilly and just singing the song. You can tell every held out note, every run, every moment is very well rehearsed and planned and plotted out. And he does it so well that it doesn't feel like that. It just feels natural. But I can tell you, this man is prepared and he knows what he's doing and he's freaking killing it. And the last note was like a laser beam, dude. Oh my gosh. Like a Kamehameha, just boom, and held and sustained. This was fantastic. He just kills it like this every time. Brooks.
Living life
better with the eyes. Better with the eyes. Felt present. Felt like something was going on there. Like he was thinking about what he was singing and singing about. He was doing a lot more runs than usual that I don't think added a lot of value. Like they weren't bad. He wasn't missing them. They weren't problems. They weren't like crushing. They weren't like those bluegrass runs that Hannah does, but kind of. I don't know. I just noticed that there were a lot of those that I could probably just do without. I didn't like the song choice on this one. Unpopular opinion, I don't really like this song so much. It's one of those songs that I feel like you're not allowed to say that about, but I just, I don't know. Interesting too, songs about faith, and the song was pretty much saying like, what if there's no heaven? What if there is no faith? What if there is no hell? What if there is, nothing? Not that that's what the song is about, but I just thought that was interesting. The song's not really about faith. It's about not having it. It seems to me. But even, who cares what it's about? It just felt like he sang the right notes and the song was over. The arrangement was not great. The ending was not good, arranging wise. It just ended and then they hit the one and it's like, oh, okay, we're done. And I've said in the past, he can sing whatever he wants as long as his voice is making noise because he sounds that good. I guess that's not necessarily true. And it's not true with anybody. Like no one really has that kind of voice. But I don't know, we just needed something different. And this was not a good song choice, in my opinion. We end it with Hannah. Man, you can tell that she means what she's singing when she sings it. We had a lot of Christians in this group, and that is not how it used to be. That my season, as a Christian myself, I was not in the majority. Like we weren't like persecuted or anything or like looked down at by any means necessary. Actually, I've said many times how great the show is for Christians in comparison to others. It's just, I loved my experience and that, but I was never like the majority. Like there were just a few of us, it felt like. And this one, it's like everybody's a Christian. This was a great song choice for her. You could tell that she's done this before. This was kind of, she took advantage of the opportunity. Like songs of faith, oh, I got tons of these. Let's pick one that I do really, really well. And she does it really, really well. And the producers listen to everybody in rehearsal and then pick the order. So that's why they put her at the end, because she's doing great. And that's where you want to be. So it looks like she's going to keep going second to last, I should say, not all the way at the end. It looks like she's going to keep just cruising through, which I'm happy about. And then last, we have Chris Tungseth. I don't think I've ever made this connection before, but in this song, he sounds a lot like Chris Stapleton, which, if you're going to sound like somebody, one of the best singers on the planet. I love his demeanor, as always. Eyes are opened and relaxed, and I feel like they just draw me in. They draw all of us in, I would dare to say. And you make that connection, and you feel like he's just earnest and telling you something that he really wants you to understand. And boy, that draws you in. And then when he sounds the way he sounds, hook, line, and sinker. That's why you keep your eyes open, and that's why you mean what you're saying. Does a great job of that. He did get off the tracks a few times when it got big and he really started to belt and try to push down like pedal to the metal moments at the end. Not by any means all the way off the tracks, just a couple hiccups here and there that you might not have even heard. But a lot of that is training. A lot of that is breath, approach to it. Like like when you're, like someone's landing a plane, like the landing's easy if the approach is right and how you're coming to it is right. And that's what I think he needs help on, because the voice is there, the range is there, the power is there, everything is there that you need. It's just those little things that I find with singers that, you're just missing here, try this, or don't try that. A little bit of do this, don't do this thing. Very easy to fix. They've got great vocal coaches, like amazing vocal coaches. So I hope that's something that they work on. By the way, people ask me sometimes, what do you do? It's a great question. I do a lot of things, but one of the things that I really love doing is coaching people on performances, for auditions. I'm not so much a technique guy. I'm not so much a mechanic to work on the motor. I can a little bit. I'm more of a driving instructor. You've got the voice. Here's how to best use it to make the best performance or the best audition that you possibly can with the voice that you have. And that's really what it comes down to in the end, is how good of a driver are you with the vehicle you have. And there are some great vocal coaches to work on your engine, to work on the car, the vehicle. I'm more of a driving guy. And if you got an audition coming up, if you want to audition for American Idol, if you're auditioning for anything in your school or church or college, whatever, I feel very confident I do really well with preparing people for those auditions. So in the description below, you can see a form where you can submit for lessons like that, for coaching sessions like that, okay? My favorite performance. Last week, I didn't tell you. I totally forgot. It was Keela last week with a little help from my friends. That was my favorite performance. My favorite performance, and then we got to do the top 10. My favorite performance is Ray in this one. Really tough. Could have gone with Jordan. But Ray just, from top to bottom, the song was so brilliant. It's really like Ray 1A and Jordan 1B. But I had to go with Ray on this one. They said like, it's so close that we're worried about the accuracy of who's going home, so we're actually not going to do this tonight. We're going to do it next week, which is crazy. It could have either been that it's so close that we need to take some time, or they could have had a technical difficulty and been like, we can't do this. Who cares? But we'll find out next week. My top 10, my personal favorite 10 singers are. Okay, so this is tough. I just made this. Top 10 for me. Number 10, starting with number 10, it's going to be Hannah. Number 9, that's how you know it's a tough one when Hannah's at 10. Number 9 is going to be Jake Thistle. Just love hearing his voice. Hannah and Jake both. They're just wonderful to listen to, and they're very, 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 very good at what they do. Very professional. Keela, nobody's better at pushing down the gas pedal. And then at 7 is Kendall. She's just a full-blown, ready-to-go pro artist and brings so much of that to every performance. At number 6, you got Braden. Just all the soul in the world, just the way that he sings. I love, too, that he doesn't look like he would sing the way he sings. That's always fun. Philman at number 5. Tone Monster. Great performance. Always a great connecting facial expression. His eyes are always active when he's singing. Then we got Chris at number 4. Chris and Philman could totally flip-flop depending on the time of day it is. They're very similar to me, and I really like both of them. Chris, same thing. Tons of connection in his eyes, and I just love listening to him. Then number 3, we've got Jordan. Jordan just knocking songs out of the park with brilliant arrangements over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. We got Ray, maybe the best voice of the show. Just, again, another one who's just knocking them out every week. There is no bad week for her, no off week. And then number 1, which, careful, because this is usually the people that go home immediately, for me is Jesse. He didn't have a great performance this week, and last week didn't have the best that he's had either. But I'm still holding out on him because the runs that he chooses, his tone, the sincerity in his performance, all of them are so strong, and I just like him better than everyone else. It's just those performances, the way that he sings, he's just my favorite. So right now, that is my top 10. Next week, I guarantee you it will change. Last thing, remember, it is not the critic who counts, which would be me. It is not, and you guys, if you're on the comments, it's not the man who points out how the strong man or woman stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. No. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and at worst, if they fail, at least they fail while daring greatly. See you next week.